Let's send it over to Tom Piotrowski at Commsec for a look at the markets today. What are you reading, Tom? What's the numbers on your list there?
Pete, we're going to get off to a reasonable start this morning. The futures are telling us that the ASX 200 should be up by around 0.6% this morning when we kick off. So that's a welcome outcome, and it's probably an outperformance when you consider what we saw in US and European trade last night. Bearing in mind this week is a big one in relation to the calendar of corporate earnings on both sides of the Atlantic. We've got some really important interest rate decisions, be it in the US or in Europe, and then some very important economic news. And that also is the case when it comes to our own market. Tomorrow we've got the inflation numbers to look at. So if you wanted to make some excuses, they're available. The Dow Jones was up by 0.5%, although there's no excuse for that index. It's up for the 11th consecutive session, the longest winning streak since 2017. The S&P 500 up by around 0.4%, the Nasdaq up by around 0.2%. Pete, what stood out last night was a march higher when it came to both long and short-term US interest rates. So part of the reason was there was a bond auction last night that went off not spectacularly well, and that created some headwinds as far as technology stocks were concerned in particular. European markets, look, the French market just down by about 0.1%, perhaps wistful that the Tour de France is now over. The UK market up by around 0.2%, and the German market up 0.1%, so nothing to write home about. But we did see a pretty sizable fall in long and short-term interest rates in Europe, so that really didn't account for terribly much where the stocks were concerned. On the local front today, as I said, a decent gain at the start. Lithium stocks will be in focus. They saw a big sell-off yesterday. It'll be a question of whether or not we can rebound. It is a matter of this week being marked by quarterly production reports out of the resource sector. So today, gold miner Newcrest will be contributing to that picture.